Just opening music. 3:25:11.
Yeah.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Tvam Tvāgatāham Sharanam Sharanyam.
Tagataham Sharanam Sharanyam.
Tvam Tvāgatāham Sharanam Sharanyam.
Tagataham Sharanam Sharanyam.
Svabhritya samsarataro kutharam.
Svabhritya samsarataro kutharam.
Jigyasayaham prakrite purushasya.
Jignasyaham prakrite purushasya.
Jigyasayaham prakrite purushasya.
Jignasyaham prakrite purushasya.
Namami saddharma vidam varishtam.
Namami saddharma vidan varishtam.
Namami saddharma vidam varishtam.
Namami saddharma vidam varishtam.
So we'll just continue. Tam, that person, tva, unto you, gata, have gone, aham, I, sharanam, shelter, sharanyam, word taking shelter of, svabhritya, for your dependence, samsara, of material existence, taro, of the tree, kutharam, the axe, jigyasaya, with the desire to know, aham, I, prakrite, of matter, woman, purushasya, of spirit, man, namami, I offer my obeisance, I offer obeisances, saddharma, of the eternal occupation, vidam, of the knowers, varishtham, unto the greatest. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Devahoti continued. I have taken shelter of your lotus feet because you are the only person of whom to take shelter. You are the axe which can cut the tree of material existence. I therefore offer my obeisances unto you, who are the greatest of all transcendentalists, and I inquire from you as to the relationship between man and woman, between spirit and matter. Again, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sankhya philosophy is well known, deals with Prakriti and Purusha. Purusha is the supreme personality of Godhead, or anyone who imitates the supreme personality of Godhead as an enjoyer. And Prakriti means nature. In this material world, material nature is being exploited by the Purushas or the living entities. The intricacies in the material world of the relationship of the Prakriti and Purusha, or the enjoyed and enjoyer, is called samsara or material entanglement. Devabhuti wanted to cut the tree of material entanglement, and she found a suitable weapon in Kapila Muni. The tree of material existence is explained in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita as an Ashwatha tree, whose root is upwards and whose branches are downwards. It is recommended there that one has to cut the root of this material existential tree with the axe of detachment. What is the attachment? The attachment involves Prakriti and Purusha. The living entities are trying to lord it over material nature. Since the conditioned soul takes material nature to be the object of his enjoyment, and he takes the position of the enjoyer, he is therefore called Purusha. Devahuti questioned Kapila Muni, for she knew that only he could cut her attachment to this material world. The living entities, in the guise of men and women, are trying to enjoy the material energy. Therefore, in one sense, everyone is Purusha because Purusha means enjoyer and Prakriti means enjoyed. In this material world, both the so-called man and so-called woman are are imitating the real Purusha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is actually the enjoyer in the transcendental sense, whereas all others are Prakriti. The living entities are considered as Prakriti. In Bhagavad Gita, matter is analyzed as Para or inferior nature, whereas beyond this inferior nature, there is another superior nature, the living entities. Living entities are also Prakriti or enjoyed, but under the spell of Maya. The living entities are falsely trying to take the position of enjoyers. That is the cause of samsara bandha or conditional life. Devahuti wanted to get out of conditional life and place herself in full surrender. The Lord is Sharanya, which means the only worthy personality to whom one can fully surrender, because he is full of all opulence. If anyone actually wants relief, the best course is to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is also described here as Sadharma Vidam Varishta. This indicates that of all transcendental occupations, the best occupation is eternal loving service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dharma is sometimes translated as religion, but that is not exactly the meaning. Dharma means that which one cannot give up, that which is inseparable from oneself. The warmth of fire is inseparable from fire, and therefore warmth is called dharma or nature of fire. Similarly, sadharma means eternal occupation. That eternal occupation is engagement in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The purpose of Kapila Dev's Sankhya philosophy is to propagate pure, uncontaminated devotional service, and therefore he is addressed here as the most important personality amongst those who know the transcendental occupation of the living entity. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Chalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dati Sapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saravatam Sagana Raghunatham Vidamtam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Dev Shri Radha Krishna Balan Samlalita Shri Vishakhantam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanasde Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pambum Gangayate Yad Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatara Paramananda Madhav Shri Chaitanya Ishwara. So again, I am very unqualified to speak in front of all of you, and everyone here is a sadhu, a sadhvi, and everyone is practicing Krishna consciousness very nicely. I'm not qualified. Those who are online also not qualified to be speaking, but I hope that everyone present will bless me so that because each one of you are doing such nice devotional service, and um, hopefully by the purity of your devotional service, I'll be able to relish something. Srimad Bhagavatam is such a treasure mine, and it's never ending, never ending. And actually, yesterday I had a very wonderful experience by the mercy of His Grace Lorinand Prabhu. So, yesterday actually we started a small discussion we had, brahmachari discussion. We started at 10 o'clock and we thought we will do for maybe 10-15 minutes. But we ended up doing for 2 hours. So that is the power of Bhagavatam. That is the power of Sangha. So we have to um, take advantage of sadhu sangha, association of devotees. Otherwise, we are not really discussing what we are discussing. Just few things, Sorry to say, but in the name of humility, sometimes we just kind of just are very um, neglectful, or we don't care. Prabhu, what did you read? What did you hear? Prabhu, what can I say? I am very fallen. What can I tell you? Prabhu, tell me something of Krishna. No, not qualified. So in the name of humility, we are denying ourselves the opportunity to absorb ourselves in Krishna consciousness. And real humility means glorifying Krishna. So this is very wonderful. Se saba bhaktera sange lila kara nanarange. Se saba bhaktera sange lila kara nanarange. Viraha sahite nahi para. Viraha sahite nahi para. कृपा करिया किंचने देखाओ महात्मा गणे कृपा करिया किंचन अकिंचने देखाओ महात्मा गणे साधु विना गति नहीं यार साधु विना गति नहीं यार. So one day I was so fortunate. I wish I could call back that day, one of the most fortunate days of my life, that I was sitting in front of His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj in Vrindavan on Ekadashi, on the day of Ekadashi, and Maharaj was giving Bhagavatam class, and it was so nectarian. It was so nectarian. Actually, that is the greatest fortune. That is the greatest fortune. When we can hear from the lotus mouth of those who are actually Se sava bhaktera sange leela kara nana range viraha sahite nahi par. So here Narottam Das Thakur is praying that, my Lord, viraha sahite nahi par. I am not able to tolerate the separation from you. Therefore, what? Kripa kari akinchane. I am a akinchan. I am a very unfortunate person. I have no shelter. I have nothing, no possession. Please, what should you, what to do? Leela kara nana range. Please describe the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he's saying, sadhu vina gati nahi aar. Without sadhu, there is no gati, means there is no existence. There is no hope actually. So we should pray like this. Should pray. If we pray, if we cry to the lotus feet of Mahatmas, we cry sincerely, then what will happen is, the first condition is we should have no second desire. I mean, I'm not qualified to speak this, but I'm just repeating the words of His Holiness Saladar Maharaj. We have no second desire. We have no desire for ourselves. We completely surrender. Then what is the gift of Mahatma Sadhu Gane? Whatever lila chintan is going on in their mind will be reflected in our heart. So my spiritual master was saying in one class that real devotees, they are so much absorbed in thoughts of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, and they feel so happy in that thought process that they don't care about anything else external. So if we don't do Leela Chintan, we'll do Deha Chintan, we'll do this Chintan, that Chintan. So Leela Chintan is very important. And of course, we cannot artificially cultivate that. But yes, by the mercy of Mahatma Gandhi, we can cultivate. So Leela Chintan includes Nam Chintan, Rup Chintan, um, Seva Chintan, any anxiety related to Krishna consciousness is very, very beneficial, is the actual object of our meditation. So, uh, His Holiness Radha Gurmaj was saying in Hindi, आज एकादशी का दिन खाने का महत्व नहीं खाने का महत्व है. So Maharaj is saying in Hindi that eating is not glorified, not eating is glorified today. So of course, Maharaj is very renounced and very inspiring, and his level of renunciation is very, very high. I am not even a mustard seed in front of him. But yes, today is the day of um, um, cultivating our attachment to Krishna, cultivating our attachment to the spiritual world. So, unless we make a very serious endeavor to starve our senses, to starve our ego, we are not going to taste rasa. And the only reason why we are here sitting in this Krishna conscious movement is to taste rasa. Very simple. Bhakti rasa. Nam rasa. Seva rasa, etc. So Bhavat rasa. So we're here to taste mellow. Our heart, our soul is crying that please feed me, please save me. I have been drowning life after life, taking Narottam Das Thakur says, taking birth in abominable conditions and eating abominable things. So soul is crying, please save me, please help me. Please give me rasa, please give me pleasure, spiritual pleasure, please. So we have to be, first of all, we have to be merciful to ourselves, kind to ourselves, that we take time to relish Krishna consciousness, because the more and more we relish, the more and more we become absorbed, the more and more we will make advancement. Advancement is not measured by anything external, but simply our love for Krishna. That's all. We just want to cultivate our love for Krishna. See, our goal is, we were singing Jai Radha Madhav. Our goal is we want to enter Golok Vrindavan. What we will do there? Prabhupada says in a very beautiful purport to Jai Radha Madhav. You all can read if you have not read. There's a Prabhupada wrote a purport to Jai Radha Madhav. Such an incredible purport. So Prabhupada says Krishna's only business. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Krishna's only business is to satisfy the Brajajana Ranjana. The only business of the Brajajana Ranjana is to satisfy Krishna. They don't have any other plan, any other thought. Unless you free yourself from all other thoughts, all other anxieties, you cannot be absorbed in thought of Krishna. And at the same time, absorbing your thought in Krishna will free you of other things. But yeah, we have to make a attempt to free ourselves from other anxieties. So actually, we are so fortunate that we have such an amazing Guru Parampara, and such nectar is there. So we just have to drink the nectar, that's all. We just have to keep drinking the nectar more and more and more. Just think about it. How merciful Krishna is, how merciful the divine couple, Godhead they are. Whoever we are, whatever condition we go in front of them, we feel so happy. Isn't that a great gift? Isn't that the greatest fortune? If you recall, before coming to Bhakti, how difficult it was to become happy actually. It was so difficult to become happy. We had so many conditions. Oh, I need this, that. And even after that, happiness is a big question. But see how merciful Krishna is. Just by one glance, he gives so much pleasure to us. He gives so much happiness. That is the greatest thing. The greatest thing. So as Radha Govind Maharaj says, Ravindranath was quoting that when you stand in front of Krishna, Krishna becomes so grateful that wow, he's standing in front of me. He loves me so much. Do you think like that? If someone stand in front of they love so much. No, that is Krishna, that is Radharani. They're so merciful. Hmm. So actually, Bhagavatam says that the super soul is a dearmost object to us, so dear to us, but only because of the most of material nature that stopping us. In his grace, Mahatma Prabhu says something really incredible. Actually, these proper disciples, they're real gem. They're real gem. Wow. I mean, when they speak something, now it hits the heart directly. And even if you are in deep ignorance, even if you're in deep maya, you have no desire to do, immediately you will be shaken up. That is the power of their words. So powerful. He was saying that, again, speaking for myself, why are we not making advancement in Krishna consciousness? Why? He says the cause is that we allow ourselves to fall down, which means we set very low standards for ourselves. It's like just like he says certain things in our life, like for example, we don't eat meat, we don't engage in intoxication. So if the opportunity is presented to us, can do we even think? Do we have to think that should I accept or reject? No. Immediately throw it out. There is no question only. So he used the word non-negotiable. There's no question of negotiable. So he says we have to make those kind of standards with ourselves in our sadhana and our seva as much as we can. So he says the real reason why we have not, he said, what would Prabhupada say if anyone had some problem, spiritual problem? What Prabhupada say? Prabhupada would say, why did you allow yourself to become consumed by that weakness? Why did you give in? Yes, Maya is there. Yes, the mind is there. Everything is there. But at the end of the day, you still have a choice. You have a choice whether what you want to do, what you don't want to do. So how many examples in Bhagavatam are there about this? Like, think about it. Vrishtasura, he entered a demon body, but he still had a choice. Even in that most abominable condition, he still had a choice. And he exercised that choice perfectly with pure devotee. Same thing with Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, what a sangha he had, what association he had. One of a demoniac father, but still he had a choice. He used that choice. So bhakti is about making the choice, the correct choice in our spiritual life. What we want to do, okay, everything is there. You may be in a man body, woman body, so many things, but ultimately it's up to you what you want to do. I speak for myself. It's up to you. So, what type of life we should hear, we should lead, so that we can make advancement. What we should do actually. So Mahaprabhu is telling Raghunadas Goswami, Gramya katha na shunibe, Gramya varta na kahibe, Bhalana khaibe or Bhalana paribe. Do not talk like people in general or hear what they say. You should eat, you should not eat very palatable food, nor should you dress very nice. So at least it probably is difficult for us to follow every day, but at least on Ekadashi day we can try to follow, we can start following this instruction. Uh, First important thing, don't talk like people in general or hear what they say. It's a very important instruction. Even sometimes in the name of devotion service, we do so much prajalpa, so much prajalpa. Of course, there is a need for some humor, there's a need for accommodation, but generally, uh, our katha should be about Krishna because that's the purpose of this Krishna consciousness. I myself am not applying, but I want to apply, that's why I'm speaking. So, Prajalpa is very dangerous. And think about it. How much time in our day are we speaking about Krishna? So much nectar is there about Krishna. Again, His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj says, everyone speaks about the Mahatma of Krishna Katha, but nobody speaks about Krishna Katha. Just speak about direct Krishna Katha, see what happens. S.A. Rohinathan Prabhu was just describing this, Rohinathan Prabhu was just describing uh, that Nanda Maharaj, when he went to meet Vasudev, uh, what was the condition? How they met? Was this is all he spoke, that's all, for 5 10 minutes. And I became so curious. I started asking question after question after question after question. I could not stop asking questions. This is the power of real Krishna Katha. So we should do real Krishna Katha. The thing which really is dear to our heart, we should speak that. Parasparan Kathanam. Paraspara. We should have this Paraspara, this Kathanam. By this doing this Parasparan Kathanam, what happens? We get amazing taste in our spiritual life. Amazing taste in our spiritual life. Uh, I'm just pulling up the words. It just came to my mouth just spontaneously. I'm just pulling up the verse. So this Krishna Katha, like this is very important for us to remember. What is the definition? What is Krishna consciousness? Everyone should understand this verse very deeply because why? Srila Prabhupada said that this is how he got the term Krishna consciousness. This is in Ramananda Samvad going on between Rai Ramananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati Kriyatam Yati Udopi Labhyate Tatra Laulyam Api Mulyam Ekalam Janma Koti Sukritir Na Labhyate. Pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness cannot be even had by pious activity in hundreds and thousands of lives. It can only be attained by paying one price, that is, intense greed to obtain it. What is that? Intense greed to obtain it. If it is available somewhere, one must purchase it without delay. So this is greed. This is greed. We should have this greed, deep greed. And how this deep greed will come? By Sangha, by really valuing devotees. How much do we value devotees? We take devotees so cheaply. If some devotee glorifies us, yes, we take it so cheaply. We have no value for devotees. Bhakta pada duliyara, bhakta pada jala, bhakta bhukta avashesha, tina mahabala, bhakta pada duli. The dust on the lotus feet of a devotee, or Bhakta Pada Jal, the water that washes the lotus feet of a devotee, Bhakta Bhukta Avashesha, the remnants left by a devotee, Tina Mahabal. It's very, very powerful, very powerful. And immediately after this in Chaitanya Charitamrita, sorry, no. Immediately after this in Chaitanya Charitamrita, what is the Leela? What is going on? Kalidas is taking water directly from the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 3 times. 3 times. Mahaprabhu strictly told Govinda, don't let anyone drink this water. But he drank water how many times? 3 times. And Mahaprabhu had no problem. After that, Mahaprabhu gave him his remnants. Wow. What is the character of Kalidas? Why? Why Mahaprabhu gave remnants to Kalidas? Why? Because in the core of the heart, Mahaprabhu would understand Kalidas had very deep faith in the Vaishnavas. And what is the power of taking the remnants, the dust, the water that washes the lotus feet from a Vaishnava? Ecstatic love for Krishna. Direct ecstatic love for Krishna. Is there anything better than that? Can you get any better than that? So that's the power of devotee. We have to take devotee very, very seriously. Very, very seriously. And how we will take devotees seriously? How? We speak about Krishna with them. When we speak about Krishna with them, the more we speak about Krishna, we hear the realization, the more naturally we develop attraction for them. So, yes, this is the golden verse. You should all remember. 11.330 Bhagavatam. Parasparanukathanam pavanam bhagavat yashaha mithoratirmitastushtir nivrittir nita atmanam. Translation. One should learn how to associate with the devotees of the Lord by gathering with them to chant the glories of the Lord. This process is most purifying as devotees thus develop their loving friendship. They feel mutual happiness and satisfaction. And thus, by encouraging one another, they are able to give up material sense gratification, which is the cause of all suffering. I'm just reading one line of purport. When devotees engage in Sankirtan, chanting the glories of the Lord together, they experience the highest transcendental bliss and satisfaction. Thus, they encourage one another to give up material sense gratification, which is based on illicit sexual connections with women. One devotee will say to another, "Oh, you have given up sense gratification? Starting today, I shall also give it up." So, this is enthusiasm, this is greed, this is eagerness. So, this eagerness we should look to cultivate in Krishna consciousness, because that's why Prabhupada made this society Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati. This is, you can hear Prabhupada speaks this in. I'm just pasting that particular verse link in the chat. That Krishna wants us. Prabhupada wants us. Prabhupada personally says in a lecture that Prabhupada wants us to cultivate this consciousness. Arey, where is the nectar? Where is the nectar? Where is the nectar? And keep searching for it, like a hungry person, looking for it, looking for the treasure. So this consciousness is very important. How this consciousness will develop when we do parasparanukatana, when we speak about the process of Krishna consciousness, about the pastimes of Krishna, about the realizations of a devotee. This is the real nectar. So the more and more we drink this nectar, the more and more we'll be hungry for more nectar. Unless you drink, you cannot become addicted. Right? In the material world, if you want to become addicted, then you have to start drinking. You cannot become addicted without starting. So same in Krishna consciousness. Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. Pibata, keep drinking again and again and again. And everything will change. Such nectar. Just like Narad Muni. Narad Muni, uh, Prahlad Maharaj was the womb of Kayadu. But even sitting there, he heard this very nectarian Bhagavad Gata. And so his whole samskara completely changed. Even taken from a demoniac family, but his samskar became so glorious. So this is the power. And this is the most important thing is discussion. Anukatanam. Anukatanam means going deeper. Going deeper is Shravanam, Mananam, Nidhyasanam. So we have to meditate. We have to go to Mananam. We have to meditate. And Nidhyasanam. We have to digest that meditation. And how should that katha be? Katha should be very attractive pastimes, very attractive information about Krishna consciousness. Because unless we take the positive, we cannot give up the negative. If we only speak about give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up, then there's no attraction, there is no taste there. But when we speak about the pastimes, about the glories of the Lord, when we speak about how we can advance in a very positive way, then it's very uplifting to our consciousness. Very uplifting to our consciousness. See, now is the golden time. It's the most awaited time of the whole year. It's the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why Mahaprabhu's appearance is so special? Why? Because he gave this Prasparanukatana. He gave this culture of how to associate with devotees. This all Chaitanya Charitamrita is about Sangha, how to take Sangha, what is Prasanga, what is real association, how can we make real association. We may be two devotees, we may be husband, wife, we may be father, mother, sorry, maybe father, son, mother, daughter, but unless we do Parasparan Katana, we are not doing Vaishnava Sangha. And my spiritual master was saying something really amazing, that if you deal with someone, you interact with someone just as a person, okay, he's a person, I'm a person, he's part of Maya and part of Maya. Then what happens? Your interaction will be based on the three modes. But if you see him as Krishna's devotee, from Krishna's perspective, you pray, you try to see him as a devotee of Krishna, then it will be so beneficial to that person. It is so beneficial. We say, I love you, I love my son, I love my whoever. But what is real love? Real love is bringing them closer to Krishna. Because without Krishna, there is no love. There is no conception of love. So unless we develop this Parasparanukathanam, this culture of Parasparanukathanam, I'm speaking for myself because I don't do, but I want to do more and more with devotees. Whenever we get with devotees and we discuss deeper and deeper aspects of Krishna consciousness, how to make advancement, how to the pastimes of Krishna, the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, unless we inspire each other, and to what extent Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavitamati. Kriyatam yadi kuto labhyate tatra laulyam. Until we develop that greed, unless we become very greedy, we will not actually attain the real benefit of Sangha, the real benefit of Sangha. So, coming back, Gramme Katana Shunime Gramme Vartana Kahibe. So, don't speak like people in general, and sorry, don't talk like people in general, and don't hear what they say. But and bhalana khaibe or bhalana paribe. Don't eat very palatable food stuff and don't dress very nicely. So what you should do? What should I do? Amani manadahana Krishna nama sadalave. Do not expect honor, but offer all respect to others. Always chant the holy name of Krishna and within your mind render service to Radha and Krishna and Vrindavan. So His Holiness Ramdas Maharaj says rendering service to Radha and Krishna and Vrindavan is only possible when you follow all these things. So how will we offer respect to others without expecting respect? This is the most difficult. Holiness Ramdas Maharaj says the most difficult to not expect respect. How? How it is possible? Only by this Parasparanukatana. His Grace Haripasha Prabhu was mentioning, very nice class. He was saying that this is quoting Rupa Goswami in a purport to Nectar of Instruction or somewhere, that when we are in very close Sangha, very intimate Sangha of devotees, we have that shelter. We should make that shelter. We have the shelter of very close, very intimate devotees. Then the love and affection we receive in that Sangha by sharing Krishna Katha. How do we receive love and affection by sharing Krishna Katha? Suppose we start discussing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in Kampira. Mahaprabhu is crying for Krishna, crying. And as he's crying, Ramananda Roy and Swarup Damodar Goswami, they are singing songs for his pleasure, to give him, to soothe his pain, to soothe his pain. So we start discussing, oh, going on. I wish I were there right now. I want to be there right now. This is my only desire. I want to go there. I want to relish this bhava. I want to relish what they're talking, how they're talking, why they're talking. I want to go there right now. So when we develop this intense eagerness, that is how we get nourished in our heart. And when we get nourished like that in our heart, when we really find our heart finds shelter in that Sangha, Snigdha Swajatya Satovari, Snigdha, very soft-hearted, Swajatya, like-minded, Satovari, very advanced, such devotees, then what happens? Their slowly desire for expecting honor slowly goes away by their mercy. Speaking for myself, goes away by their mercy, by their loving shelter. So that is the first, I'm not a sadhu, but that is the first nature of a sadhu. What sadhu does with his very soft, sweet affection, he will attract. He will attract you. He has that nature, he will attract your heart. He will melt your heart. First thing sadhu will do. Then next thing what sadhu will do, coming to the verse today, what sadhu will do? Sadhu will put you on a board and he will use his very strong words and cut your attachment. He will cut your material attachments. And if you allow him to cut your material, if you put faith, then What is the next thing you will do? The next thing sadhu will do, sadhu will take away all your material dependencies. You'll have no material dependency now. You'll have only Krishna. Then you will take that one pointed shelter. One pointed shelter. You'll actually feel, your heart will sink with the prayers of the previous acharyas that my Lord, you are my only hope. You are my only hope. Without you, I am nothing. So more and more, we develop such feelings, such emotions towards pure devotees of the Lord, towards previous acharyas. Then when we develop that mamatva, that deep hankering to acquire that, then bhakti will start developing. Because bhakti adhikar is a very subtle thing. You cannot get it just by reading books or by being mechanical, but only by devotee. Only by devotee. So we all want mercy of pure devotees. We all want great devotees to show mercy on us. But according to the example of Kalidas, unless we put faith in devotees who are right now in front of us, of course, time, place, circumstance, I am not saying someone to be um, sentimental because there are different grades of devotees and we have to uh, do accordingly. But in every devotee, there is some nectar, definitely. So unless we are eager to grab that nectar with a very humble mood, actually believing that they are an object of Krishna's mercy to us, they are our greatest treasure, greatest treasure. Unless we have that consciousness, we will not get mercy of pure devotees. We will not get mercy of pure devotees. And actually, the way by which our attachment to this material world is cut is by absorption. When we are absorbed in Krishna consciousness, yeah, then it's possible. When we are relishing Krishna consciousness, yeah, then it's possible. Otherwise, it's not possible. Because why? Coming back to the verse, what does it mean to actually cut material attachment? It means in our heart to accept, not see intellectually theorize, but accept in the core of our heart that Krishna is the only enjoyer. Guru is the real enjoyer. Of course, this is in context that Guru is not an independent enjoyer, and Guru never wants to be, but Guru is the enjoyer. That is like, why do we sing? Eve Yash Vushuk Tribhuvan? May your glory spread all over. Why Narottam Das Thakur is singing? Because he wants to cultivate this mood that everything I'm doing is for the pleasure of Lokanath Vishnu. So when we cultivate this mood that Krishna is the enjoyer, and we accept it happily, very happily we accept in the core of our heart, then our desire to enjoy will go away. Why? Because what will happen when we sincerely accept that Krishna is the enjoyer, just by seeing Krishna enjoy, we will enjoy. Like sometimes we have experience when we see pure devotees or sincere devotees, when we see them enjoying, like we cook for them, we serve them. By seeing them enjoying, we enjoy, right? We have experience. Why? Because our heart becomes one. Heart becomes one. So when our heart becomes one with Krishna, with Krishna's enjoyment, with Radharani's enjoyment, that is that is the real way of becoming Krishna Das. Krishna Das. So then we will feel so happy. Oh, Radha Govinda ate so nicely today. Oh, I'm so satisfied. So this is what Ekadashi means. Ekadashi means to give up our own enjoyment and increase Krishna's enjoyment and relish the position of being enjoyed by Krishna. This is the meaning of Ekadashi. To take shelter in Krishna's enjoyment, to identify with Krishna's enjoyment. Oh, Krishna did this. Wow, so amazing. Oh, Krishna did this. Wow, so oh, Krishna played the flute. Wow, so amazing. So taking shelter in Krishna's happiness, in devotees' happiness, that is the meaning of real meaning of Ekadashi. So we are so fortunate actually. We are so fortunate that we are in the Krishna conscious movement. Why? Why we are so fortunate? Huh? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give the most secret part of Krishna's heart. Anarpita Chirat Karunaya Vatirna Kalam Samarpayatam Unnata Ujjwala Rasam Surtishri. Hari Purata Sundar Yuti Kanamba Sanjivita Sada Hridaya Kamdana Sajiva. So our acharyas explain that that it was not given before, anarpita, not given. Karuna with extreme mercy, the Lord came. Samarpaitu Unnata Ujjwala Rasa, very special kind of rasa. What is that? Swabhakti Shriyam. Now, different acharyas analyze it in different ways, but one of the meaning of the word Swabhakti Shriyam means actually Krishna's affection for Srimati Radharani. So that deeper sentiment of Krishna consciousness, because they two are inseparable. Radharani's affection for Krishna and Krishna's affection for Radha are inseparable because any relationship is two-sided. So that most secret part of Krishna's heart, Krishna is giving to us through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, through Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Krishna is giving us that most secret thing. So we are so fortunate. We are so fortunate that we are, by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Mahaprabhu's associates, we're understanding. We're understanding the most secret part of Krishna's heart, how much Krishna loves his devotees, how much Krishna's love for his devotees is there. And also we're coming to understand how much Radharani loves her devotees. Just like Radharani has very confidential associates, and you cannot imagine the kind of loving exchanges that Radharani has with her associates, with her maidservants, and so on and so forth. Now, that same love Mahaprabhu is giving in this world to the living entities through his pastimes. That is Mahaprabhu's glory. Such an amazing glory, such an amazing world, such an amazing movement, such amazing devotees. This is the one of the most fortunate times to be alive on the planet. Why? Because all the proper disciples are in their right maturity now. They are in very deep in Krishna consciousness. Anything they speak, anything, it's so amazing, so realized. So many proper disciples. We're so fortunate. We're so fortunate. His Holiness Kadamkan Maharaj is leaving the world right now as we speak. It's very unfortunate that we're losing his Sangha. There are so many devotees, so many proper disciples. What realize, what nectar. So let's take advantage. This is Vrindavan, this spiritual world. So let's take advantage of this amazing opportunity to become free from Maya service and to engage in Krishna service. And I cannot end without glorifying Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada actually taught us what is the real taste in Krishna consciousness. What is the real taste? How do we get real taste? By sacrifice. Prabhupada's life is a life of constant sacrifice, constantly sacrifice to give pleasure to everyone, to give pleasure to all the devotees. And even now he is sacrificing in so many amazing ways. So Ekadashi means simple, sacrifice something for Krishna's pleasure. So just like Prabhupada sacrificed, and what is the result of sacrifice? Unlimited happiness, unlimited joy. So let us sacrifice, let's do something, whatever we can, or whatever we do, we can do the best possible way, so that we can get the special, attract the special mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Special mercy. And what is the special mercy of Prabhupada? Special mercy of Prabhupada is when Prabhupada accepts us as one of his own. There is that famous verse that I'll just sing that and end. It's a very wonderful song. E boro karuna koro Vaishnava Gosai. So the last verse. Pratijanme kori asha charane radhuli narotame koro doya apanara boli narotame koro doya apanara boli. So Narottam Das Thakur is praying to his spiritual master, praying to Vaishnava Goswami, please Consider Narottam yours. This is the greatest gift. If Guru and Prabhupada actually consider us, that we have belonged to them, they think, oh, this devotee is mine. His heart is mine. His life is everything is mine. Then you should know for a fact that the spiritual master, they have that kind of relationship with Prabhupada. That's when whatever you see, whatever you do, everything is like, like a star in the sky. Why? Because Prabhupada is personally behind it. Guru is behind it. Guru Parampara is behind it. One word, one thing they say, we get so many relationships. Jayapada Maharaj the other day was saying, Bhakshandev Thakur went to, he was talking about the Guru. He just said one line, he's so unhappy. The devote hearts of devotees melt by hearing. Amazing. And he's not even there, not even Mayapur. He's hearing on video. This is the power.
Sorry, Prabhuji, we cannot hear.
Yeah, I am done. I said that Jayapadaka Maharaj, he just spoke one line about how Bhakshandev Thakur went to the moon for preaching purposes. And that just melted the heart of devotees. We are not even there in Mayapur, we're not in front of them, in front of him. This is the power of someone who has achieved this position, whose heart is actually, but who's completely captured by his spiritual master. The spiritual master thinks this disciple belongs to me, he's my property, his heart is my property. That disciple, he will create waves in the world because of that connection. So I pray and hope that we can cultivate, I can cultivate that kind of connection to Prabhupada and Guru, that mamatva, the deep oneness, Atitaram Guru, so that intense desire to cultivate that kind of relationship, that is our greatest treasure. So I'm sorry if I spoke anything wrong and inappropriate. It's all of your mercy, whatever I spoke. Anyone has any question or comment?
Prabhuji, can I
Prabhuji.
ask?
Yes.
Go ahead, Malji.
No, Prabhuji, go ahead, please. Okay. Prabhuji, I had a question. You mentioned a line which said, in our heart, we should serve Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. Right? So, Prabhuji, can you elaborate a little on that?
Yeah, actually, first thing about Radha and Krishna, serving them in the heart, this is something to be revealed. It's not something that can be discussed on a public forum. It's something that is revealed according to our individual surrender by Srila Prabhupada. But basically, the point is that it always starts with Mahaprabhu. So you become attracted to a particular associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his way of worshipping Radha and Krishna, and you become attracted, and through him you actually relish these may not be so much pastimes, because pastime is a very high stage of actually doing Lila Smaran. That's a very high stage, and one has to go krama by krama. But the point generally we speak about is the feelings. So when you associate with a devotee, when you get attached to a previous acharya, through his prayers, through his life, his mood of worship of Radha and Krishna becomes very prominent, and that we kind of identify with that. So how we worship Radha and Krishna, how we think, that is something which is private and confidential, and is revealed to every Vaishnava individual. Like, for example, some devotees, while they are chanting, they are so fortunate that they get the spurti of the deities of Radha Gopisha in their mind. Some devotees, they are so fortunate that they render service to Radha and Krishna in their mind. Some devotees, the way they remember Radha and Krishna is sing bhajans of Radha and Krishna. Some devotees sing glory of Radha and Krishna. Some devotees hear pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Some devotees are so fortunate they personally serve the deities of Radha and Krishna. So, different ways are there. according to your own individual inspiration, taste, and your personal revelation by Guru and Gauranga. Yeah, I mean, mm, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it will be revealed in the heart. I mean, I cannot speak this on a public platform because it's individual to every devotee. And to wherever you find interest, inspiration, and so on and so forth, you can think of Radha and Krishna. I'm
Okay,
sure you all have already a lot.
Prabhuji, my question was mainly like we have attachment to. Uh, it's okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
No, no, please continue.
Prabhuji,
Continue.
like we have attachment to the deities whom we have served, our home deities, our temple deities, or where we have lived in the past. So, serving Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan, is it different from the service that we are rendering here or anywhere in our houses? Or
Not necessarily. Not
okay.
necessarily. It depends on our conception. So, one thing about deity worship, if you are asking from that connection, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that the way we should serve deities, we should facilitate their pastimes by our seva. Like for example, simple example, like Julan Leela, we are actually singing Radha and Krishna on a throne, right? Why we're doing? We're trying to facilitate their Julan. We're trying to facilitate their pastimes, their Julan pastimes. So, I mean, uh, I mean, by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we have some idea about their pastimes, something about their pastimes, you know. So, and there are, so we may not be so qualified to meditate on those pastimes, but yeah, during our seva, either at home or in the temple, we can have a desire to facilitate their pastimes. There's nothing wrong. Like, for example, we can have a desire while we are serving them, we are feeding them, we're thinking that. Um, I mean, of course, I'm not qualified, but just for the sake of, we can meditate that, um, because we should hold the lotus feet our guru and always do, we should never do independently, but can have a desire that we are facilitating their Bhojan Leela, or we are facilitating at night whoever is dressing, oh, now Radha and Krishna are going to dance at night. So let me dress them in such an attractive way that seeing Radharani Krishna becomes so attracted, and seeing Krishna Radharani becomes so attracted. So yeah, we can facilitate in our own humble way. Same thing with Chaitanya Mahanityananda Prabhu. So today they are going to dance in Nadia. They're going to dance with their associates. So let me dress them in that way. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we can definitely. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's instruction is there that we should serve deities like this. Like we should not dress deities for our enjoyment. We should dress for their enjoyment so that they can enjoy their pastimes.
Yeah. And that same thing is continued in the mind when we are doing our japa or going over the day. So that mental meditation continues, right? With the same set of deities.
We can do that, yes, you can do that, but yeah, you should, if you want to do anything manas puja in the mind, it should be done under strict guidance. You should be very careful, because if you don't do with guidance, someone who actually knows the way to do, then it can result in going above our adhikar. But uh, yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a very high meditation to in the mind to actually Vrindavan, to actually create the whole atmosphere. But one thing which is very easy is seva is easy, and yeah, seva is easy, and Vaishnava bhajans are easy. Like today we were saying Radha Krishna Pranam. So you're using the help of the bhajan to stimulate remembrance. So that's good. Uh, and yeah, I mean, Manas Puja is okay. Like Manas Puja means mentally just doing what you do physically. That's okay. But real Manas Seva, serving Radha and Krishna according to the eternal pastime, that's a very high thing. And that is on the stage of Bhav. or at least the stage of ruchi. When one has attained stage of ruchi, yeah, then one can attempt, and I'm clearly way below that. But yeah, only the stage of ruchi. But until one attains such a stage, then yeah, I mean during kirtan you can remember some pastime. There's no problem. There's nothing wrong. Like while doing kirtan, you can remember like Krishna is coming out in the morning, giving darshan to everyone. Radha is giving darshan to everyone. So if you have some seen some pictures or something, you can remember those. If it comes automatically, that's best. During japa, if it comes automatically, that's fine. Forcefully, we should try not to bring it. But mm, it's easier during kirtan. It's sankirtan. It's very easy to cultivate remembrance of Radha and Krishna because you get the help of all the devotees, and so it becomes so much easier to cultivate. So yeah, so Bhaktivinoda Thakur's thing that was that Kirtana Prabhavi Smarana Swabhavi. So by the Kirtan, by Prabhava of Kirtan, Smaran will manifest spontaneously.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
But yeah, Manas Puja is very good. I mean, basically, whatever you do physically, you do mentally, like with the deities. Like, okay, now I'm dressing them, doing aarti to them, I'm oiling, I'm offering oil to them. Yeah, that's very good.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
But yeah, I mean, actually, that helps us to hear the holy name. Helps us to hear the holy name. Yeah. Anyone
Thank
else has anything else to say? Okay. Any comment or question? Devitis Prabhu, you're saying something?
No, Prabhu, actually, I wanted to share my gratitude for this wonderful, I won't call it as class, but very wonderful points you shared. I like one point which you shared, many actually, but there's one thing which just hit my heart was when we see devotee as a person, we see from the three modes of material nature. However, when we see that he is actually Krishna's, he or she is Krishna's devotee, then we actually try to enlighten. You also talked beautifully about Vaishnava relationship, and serving Vaishnavas is such an important aspect. You gave an example from Chaitanya Leela that, this Kaliya Das got three times actually washing the feet of Lord Chaitanya, and he got Mahaprasad as well. Um, I just want to share my gratitude, Prabhu. Very wonderful points you shared today.
It's all of your mercy. And sorry I went over time today. I started late also. Today I thought Ekadashi. So okay. Special Ekadashi. Today is a very special day. And tomorrow is also very, very special. Many people know Ekadashi, nobody knows Dwadashi. Dwadashi is, Tulsi Devi. Tulsi Devi, Vrinda Devi, she is very, very special. She is the one who assigns the service to all the associate Vrindavan. So if we want service, we need her mercy. So tomorrow also we should celebrate in our heart. It's very special day tomorrow also, Dwadashi. So please forgive
Prabhuji,
me.
is it okay? I can ask one question or the
Sure,
time is up?
sure, you can.
Prabhuji, one thing I was wonder, already our devotees are all not at all dressing up or anything, but when you mentioned the class, we cannot dress, dress nicely. But I'm just wondering why, Prabhuji, because we have to look good in front of Krishna also, right, Prabhuji?
No, the thing is that, what is it? One second, let me just read the translation. I mean, read the exact thing carefully so there is no confusion.
Because I felt when you dress up, come dress up and come in front of and dance, that will inspire others too, right, Prabhuji? If you're coming nodding dress up, even we are not showing enthusiasm on our body, when others sees us, they may not get inspired through us, right, Prabhuji? I don't know. If I'm wrong, please correct.
So it says, do not dress very nicely. So there's a point, very nicely is a point. So yes, we should dress in a presentable way that it is pleasing, like it is pleasing. But that's the point, like not so elaborately, not so nicely that it goes beyond that and it's like now in the category of kind of I am the center. So as long as we're dressing with the consciousness that we are, and see, our real thing is not our dress. I mean, we should dress in a very professional, neat way. That's very important. But the real decoration is not the dress for a devotee. The real decoration is bhav. What is our mood? That is the real decoration. And I mean, as far as dressing goes, a real decoration for a devotee is tilak. If you put on tilak very nicely, that is this. And of course, being neat and being pakka is of course important. Not being shabby or something. I have personally have to improve that. But the real decoration is bhav. And our real decoration of deities is Uttara Bhav. That's what is that. Shri Vigrahara Dhanityanana Shringar. What is Shringar means? Guru is doing alankar, bhav alankar, not just external, bhav alankar. So that is a real way to actually inspire others, is by our mood. And of course, yeah, we should be very neat, we should be very pakka in that way. We should dress in the proper way, in a presentable way, I would say. Like this, Ramnath Maharaj. She is so attractive, but what is so simple, but is so attractive, is so beautiful. Why? Because of his mood. So of course we should be like, I mean, personally I have to improve. Should wear iron clothes and should dress in a very, I would say, in a very neat way. Neat is the word, but a real decoration of devotee is bhav. I'm sorry.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Neat way is good. Neat way, like a presentable way is good. That's what my, thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, please forgive me if I spoke anything inappropriate. I myself am struggling, most abominable, but I am simply seeking the blessing from all the devotees. Only hope is all the wonderful devotees. वांछकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो